right, well, I'm here today with the one and only Nicila Chaos Costello. We're just going to run through her next big fight and just get her thoughts on where she's at and how excited she is. Welcome, Nicila.
Thank you for having me.
No.
How sick does it sound when you get to say the Chaos Costello? I think I'm just going to change my name to it now.
I would if I was you, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we've got to try and get that promo when you walked out your last fight. Like, that was so sick. First of all, how did this one come about? Because I know last time we spoke, you said that obviously going international was going to be the next big step. Did you think it would be so quickly?
Look, I definitely didn't. And I think every boxer, no matter where they are in the world, that's what they say, right? You want to fight internationally and so on and so forth. But the reality of it is, if you're going overseas, like when we get called up to go to Vegas, which I hope we do, you're going there to get beaten, right? Like, you're not the A side, you're the B side. So it's like definitely all I wanted those opportunities. And we definitely weren't expecting it. It was short notice, and it was kind of just, and I'm sure we'll get into this, but like every possible thing that was kind of not in our favor is it, like, that's the way it is. But it was like the opportunity is still way too much to pass up.
Yeah. And what are you sort of like, because your opponent, she's come out of like a sort of semi-hiatus / almost retirement, is that correct? So obviously it was kind of a last minute thing for her as well, or?
So look, I'm pretty useless at knowing too much about my opponents, but she has an extremely good, fighting and combat sports record. She's extremely experienced, and her name had actually been thrown around before, because I'm a Kiwi, and we have a guy over there that's been amazing, and got us in papers and so on and so forth, and it must be friendly with her. And he said to us a while ago, she's coming back, and she's legit. Like, she's won 5 like Muay Thai world titles, and she's contended 2 boxing world titles. Like, she's has the experience and has the caliber to go all the way, and that's what her goal is. She's come back. She had a fight in May. I think it was relatively around the same time as me, and then had this one lined up, and unfortunately for them, but good for me, an opponent pulled out, and we got the call up.
Yeah, because you were first going to fight again in October, weren't you? So how's that thrown you? September? Yeah. How's that sort of changed your planning or training with another fight so close?
Look, we did 10 fights in 5 months. We were pretty much back to back, and I loved that. And then after May, the next fight was looking like September, and nothing was officially locked in, but we knew that we were working towards September, and I hated it. I was like, it's like post-party depression when you've gone away on holidays with your friends, and then you have to come back to work. I was like, oh man, I don't like not, Yeah. I've actually not minded that it's come up short notice.
So this one, obviously, you're going for the World Boxing Association Oceania title. That is a mouthful. What does it feel like, and what are the thoughts around going for something like that already, obviously, in your short career?
Oh, massive. It feels, and I guess that's that thing of it was an opportunity that was impossible to pass up. We've been, to be honest, the Australian title, I don't know what will beat that, because it feels so important, if that makes sense. Like, yep. That belt feels important, and even when you hold it, it feels like it means something. It's a national title, and I'm sure this is going to be the same, but it's we have been offered ones with other sanctioning bodies that, to be honest, we were like, I'm like, I'll take any belt, but my coach is kind of like, no, like, we're not going to let you fight for this and, you know, have an opponent that you're probably most likely going to win. We want it to be a challenge if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
So when this came up, it was like, that's awesome. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of the Australian title belt, where have we got that one hanging?
Do you know what? They usually stay downstairs in, like, I have a training thing downstairs. But right now they are on our entertainment unit because I feel bad about that. I'm like, man, Kara must be like, get these things out of here.
But then when you have friends over, you can be like, look at how good I am. So obviously going back to New Zealand, that's massive. How do you feel going back for probably the first time in a long time to start with, but also fighting in front of your family?
Yeah, so it's amazing because all my family are coming. Even so, I have only one brother has seen me fight, and he lives in Brisbane, so he's been at my fights, but he's actually flying back for it. So it'll be the first time that all of like us siblings have been together in, I want to say 6 or 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's awesome. You know, that they'll be there, and God, I already know my mum's going to be annoying about having to watch me fight, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and I come from, like, the fight's in Auckland, so it's not like I'm from the South Island, but I come from a really small place, and they've been so supportive of all my boxing, and heaps of them are coming up, like people that, you know, I wasn't friends with growing up or anything, but we're in the same town. They're like coming up for boys trips and stuff. So yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, awesome. So we might see you on a billboard down there at one stage.
Yeah. I'm waiting for my statue. I'm like, guys, when's this going up?
Yeah, well, maybe if you win the title, you might get the statue.
That's it.
And obviously your coach as well is from New Zealand. So have you got any thoughts from him on a homecoming as well in front of the hometown?
So unfortunately Todd actually can't come to the fight. So he won't be traveling with me, which is, you know, a real shame because he is a Kiwi as well, but he's quite big in, like, you know, he was a phenomenal boxer in New Zealand. So that's always helpful. To be honest, the biggest thing I've been told is that I probably shouldn't say that, but it's like, it's corrupt, right? Like, you're going there and, you know, you're the away. So I think the only positive is that I am a Kiwi, and but I have got that definitely in the back of my head that I know I need to, you know, you have to do a lot better than just a good performance to win.
Yeah. So obviously if he's not going to be there, is that going to make things different on fight night for you?
Yeah, look, I'm devo that he won't be there, and more than anything, it's just that I enjoy having him there, if that makes sense. Like, well, I'm sure everybody can see that, you know, I love Todd. He's such a great person, and you know, I like being able to share that with him because it's been from the start. But I'm taking somebody's coming with me, another coach from like the Ace Boxing group. So yeah, I'll be in good hands, but it'll be a shame that he's not there.
Yeah, have to have him on Zoom on the side.
Yeah, I know.
Are you starting to feel different or like more confident in the ring? Like, are you feeling that development now from like the first few fights to sort of where you're at in May?
I definitely feel more settled, and I don't think that's necessarily just in the ring, but everything to do with the boxing world, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not quite so lost when it comes to, you know, I know that weigh in and then you do this and then you do that. So that's getting easier. But no, I'm just as nervous every single time.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like, yeah, like I think, I don't know, like you just never know what you're going into.
Yeah.
But you learn, yeah, I guess just what to focus on and how to get the best out of yourself. But yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to go in and feel confident and settled. Yeah, I don't know if that ever comes.
In terms of, how that sort of went, that fight, is that what you're hoping for? Because, I mean, I don't know 100% like about boxing, but watching it, I thought it looked really good. Like it looked like you had the combinations going and you probably did what you wanted to. Well, I mean, obviously you won, so that's what you wanted to do. But like in terms of like style and technique, like it looked pretty good, just from a viewing standpoint.
Well, that's awesome. That's good. Yeah, look, I was really happy with it. I don't know if Todd's ever going to say he was happy with the performance from me, but, I definitely feel like I was prepped. Yeah, like a bit, I guess the Natalie Hills fight, like that one in March, it was chaos. And then the one in May, I feel like was a little bit more like controlled chaos.
Yeah.
So I wanted to keep the intensity, but keep it like tighter and a bit more of thought going into what I'm throwing.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I was really happy with it. I didn't see that happening. I didn't see it going the way it did, I guess, a first round stoppage. But I mean, that's awesome, really.
Yeah. Again, is there anything that you kind of want to talk about or focus on or anything like that?
No, definitely not. I think I really want to say thank you, because that last article you wrote was like so good. And I honestly think out of everything I've had, that's been like the best. So thank you so much for that. Look, I'm just enjoying the ride, and this is awesome to have this opportunity, and fuck, I'll go out there and do my best.